Welcome to another episode of Marler's Movie Reviews and Relationship Advice. I'm Marler, and I think about your relationship so you don't have to. And my last video that I loaded already has 10 views, and I'm so proud. It feels wonderful to be able to touch so many people's lives in such a special place, and I'm going to continue to do so. So send in those questions, and it doesn't have to be relationship advice. Any kind of advice that you need, or you need me to tell you which movie to watch and what to think about it, or you need an opinion on anything, religion, politics, I'm here to tell you what to think and to improve your life. But I did go more than a week without uploading, and I'm sorry I went that long. I had to keep you waiting that long. What happened was, by coincidence, right after I decided to make this channel, I discovered the Angry Video Game Nerd and the Nostalgia Critic, and those two guys just completely changed my life. I spent the last 2 weeks pretty much just watching their channels, their videos. And then the most wonderful thing happened. One of the first people to watch my other video told me that Angry Video Game Nerd and Nostalgia Critic are my competition. And I thought, I just think that that is the most wonderful compliment I've ever had, because I don't feel like they're my competition, because I don't feel like I'm in the nerd and the critics league yet. I intend to be. That's where I'm going with this. That's what's going to happen. But right now, that's just a goal that I'm working towards. But as much as I love Nostalgia Critic, he's got some weird opinions sometimes, doesn't he? Like, I just watched Nostalgia Critic's top 20 movies, period, and he thinks that Eyes Wide Shut is Stanley Kubrick's best film. What? And it is his fifth favorite movie of any kind. This is ridiculous. I watched Eyes Wide Shut a long, long time ago, and it is not a great movie. I thought that maybe it was pretty good. Definitely worth a second viewing. I thought, alright, maybe I'm missing something here. I want to think that this is awesome. It's got so much boobage that you want to believe that it's good in other ways as well. And maybe if I saw it twice, I could figure out who all the people are in the orgy scene. The center of Eyes Wide Shut is this scene where everybody's wearing a mask and all the chicks are naked and all the dudes are even more fully clothed than usual. It's like a Robin Thicke video. And you're trying to figure out who the naked chicks are in the rest of the movie. I'm pretty sure that every woman in Eyes Wide Shut is naked in the orgy scene, making it the only wide release movie with big name actors and actresses about which I can say I think every single woman in it is naked. But I got busy with some other stuff, and I forgot all about it, and I never watched it again until just last Friday when I saw Nostalgia Critic's top 20, and I was like, all right, I'm going to give this a second viewing. So I went down to the National City Blockbuster, and they're just selling their movies now. So I bought a couple, and they're also selling their open sign, which is awesome. So you can buy an open sign, English or Spanish, $50. I'll bet you could talk them down to 37. Should I do it? Should I buy the National City Blockbuster's open signs? I don't know. I think it would have some kitschy value. Maybe would it look good here? Maybe it would look good right here. Good backdrop for my thing here. So I watched Eyes Wide Shut a second time, and no, it's just not that good. And the problem with it is too slow. We got all these conversations which are so long, and I see what they were trying to do because it is realistic. They were like, well, it's like the directors were like, well, real conversations are boring. Sometimes you spend 2 hours having a conversation that nobody else is interested in. Why don't we make that into a movie? Well, because of what I just said. It's just not that interesting a conversation. Realism can only get you so far. The entire movie could have been adequately done in just half an hour. It should have been a short. Eyes Wide Shut would have made a great short. Like the scene where they're smoking pot and she gets mad at him for no reason because she's like, hey, I'm mad at you because I think that you only are staying with me not because you think I'm hot, but out of some kind of loyalty or something. And he's all like, well, isn't that supposed to be good? I think this pot is making you angry. I mean, it's not, love isn't about being with the hottest woman that you know. It's about honoring a commitment even if there are other women. there you go. 2 sentences, and I just adequately summarized what in the film was a 20-minute long scene where they're smoking pot, which I didn't get the first time. I don't know what I thought. I think that when I originally saw it, I just thought like, that's weird. Instead of buying a pack of Marlboros, they're smoking cigarettes which they roll themselves from some tobacco that they keep in the Band-Aid tin in their bathroom. What's up with that? Now, now I know what's up with that, but it's still not a fantastic movie. On the same day I watched that, by coincidence, I went and I watched a movie that did it right. The movie's called Philomena, with Judi Dench playing the title character, who's an old woman who is a widower and retired, and now she's got nothing better to do, so she decides to track down her long-lost son, which she had to give up for adoption when she was young. So she enlists the help of this cynical journalist played by Steve Coogan, who also wrote the film. And just their chemistry is absolutely wonderful. First of all, of course, you expect nothing less than a fantastic performance from Judi Dench, right? And she delivers. And the entire movie delivers. Every conversation is interesting. The movie had me on the edge of my seat from start to finish. And it's really weird for me to say that about any movie, let alone a drama, because I'm not into drama. Normally, only movies I want to watch are comedies or action movies or music videos. You know, I like stuff blowing up. I like to be falling out of my seat laughing. I don't like dramas normally, but this one is actually very interesting, and it didn't feel like it was scripted. If you've ever tried to write anything or tried to make a movie, then you start to become too involved in the process, and that now every time you watch a movie, you're just thinking about the writing, just thinking about the acting choices. This movie, I completely forgot the process. It was almost like watching a documentary in the realism, and yet watching a scripted movie and how interesting and well done it was. Um, Steve Coogan's character, Martin Sixsmith, he's this cynical guy who, like me, would never have thought a drama could be interesting, but because of a career downturn, he's forced to do this human interest story, and he discovers how interesting it can be to be an old woman trying to find your son, and there are all kinds of twists and turns along the way, and he's always saying all these cynical things like, "Oh, that's so depressing that that happened. That's wonderful. Oh, these nuns were pure evil. That's good. That's good. I mean, that's not good for you, but it's good from a writing standpoint." And his boss is harsh, and she's kind of a bitch. He's like, "Make her cry and write about it." His boss is played um, by Michelle. I can't forget her last. I don't remember her last name. But the same woman who played Lady Stark in the Game of Thrones, but she was a completely different character. I couldn't even tell from looking at her. I just recognized her voice, and I looked her up later. Wonderful performances by everyone. I only have one thing bad to say about this movie. There was only one line of dialogue that I didn't like, where he says something and I'm like, "Oh, that's so cliche and so trite and contrived." And then she says something and I was like, "Ah, he had to say that to set her up for this wonderful line." Okay, just one exchange that made me think about the writers being there writing it. Everything else just flowed totally organically. So Philomena is the name of the movie, and I recommend it most highly. And thanks everyone for watching this, and everyone for watching my other video. Send in your comments and your advice.